Hi, and welcome to a course format introduction on our MORE system, Maricopa Open Educational Resources. We will talk about a basic overview of the system, some announcements and course calendar information. We will look at each module and what you might typically find within each module, such as an ebook and or practice workbook, video lessons, online homework, tests and or reviews. We will also look at discussion forums and late passes. Again, that is if you have discussions in your course and if you are allotted late passes as per your syllabus. We'll look at the gradebook so you can see maybe a helpful view on how to read your gradebook and use it, and also some information on your proctored midterm and final. So once I log into MORE, this is typically what I will see. Here's my course over here to the left, but before I click into my course, I'm going to go up to the top where it says Change User Info and click on that. And then here is where I can certainly change my password if I wanted, but I think something very important to click on is this Notify Me by email when I receive a new message, so I can get email notifications, as well as New Messages widget and New Forum Posts widget. And those will both now show up on my home page. So if I scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on Update Info, now on my home page, I will see not only the courses that I am taking, but also any new messages that I have and these new forum posts, perhaps by my students in my class or my instructor. So I'm going to click on the course that I'm taking, and you will see some kind of bars at the top potentially, as well as things along the side. Some of them might duplicate, so this gradebook will be the same as that. That calendar will be the same, etc. Messages, all of that. Typically in a week one of any course, you will have some housekeeping items to do. Perhaps there is a syllabus quiz or a syllabus and calendar of due dates confirmation where it says you have printed, read, and understand all expectations within the syllabus. There is usually some introduction to MORE assignment, as well as this course format video assignment where this video lives. Those will help you navigate the system and learn how to type in answers and know what the testing format might look like, as far as a timed test goes. So those will usually be at the top if you're within the first week of a course. I am in now week 3 of a course, so they're moved to the bottom. Something important to note are these announcements. Hopefully your course has weekly, or however it is pertinent to that course, you will find announcements. So for us, it is weekly, and you will see what is due each week, as well as where to find that particular assignment. Okay. I also have a syllabus, calendar, textbook, and additional resources block. This is available to you all semester long, so you can download your syllabus or the course calendar, which I'll show you is also for us on our homepage, your instructor information, maybe some PV resources, tutoring information, graphing calculator help, and textbook information. That's just pretty standard or typical of what you might find in that type of a block. We will look at the discussion forums here in a minute. We'll come back to that. And then you have your topics. Now, some of the calendars are live. So what that means is I can actually click on this test and it would take me directly to that test. This calendar is just more for visual purposes, so you can merge this with your personal calendar. And it does say read the announcements daily, even though they're updated usually weekly, but we could add certainly an announcement at any time, so make sure you're opening that. But this will show you what is due when, so you can get a visual idea of maybe campus closures or spring break or when you should be reviewing and things like that. The discussion forums, if you have them within your course, can be quite tricky. So I'm going to walk you through how to submit a new thread or start a new thread in your discussion forum. So if I look and I click on that first discussion, what I will notice is it tells me some things to watch and or read, asks me some questions, and then it does give me directions here on how to do it. So I am past due, but what you would do if this were within the due date range is I would click on discussion number 1. So right here, this discussion number 1. And then what I would see is up at the top left, right up here, it would say add new thread. And it would be very common for me not to see anyone's posts at all because I cannot actually see their post until I've posted mine. Once I add a new thread, type my name in the subject line and post my thread, then I can see other people's threads, click on them, and respond to them. Okay, I didn't, so I'm not able to. So if I go back to my course, go back to the home page, I'd like to take a look at what's inside of a typical module. So if I open up module 1, one of the most valuable resources in an online class could be the additional resources that your instructor provides. So in this course, the instructors provided Module 1 notes, worked out examples for each section. So inside of Module 1, for all of these sections, if I click on it, this is what would be done in a face-to-face or in-person class for notes. So I can download just that section. It is something I could print or keep for my own use later, but it is what would typically have been done in class. And so the goal of these would be if you take the videos that I'll show you in a second, along with these notes, you should have most of the resources you need to be successful in the class, as well as there is an online text. And those are found right here in that Module 1 notes. So if you get stuck on a problem, I would look for something like this within there. You can download all of Chapter 1 from the textbook, which is right here. It's about 150 pages. And that is, again, up to you if you'd like to use that or print that, or save it. Okay, after or within each section, when I click on section 1.1, I will find a textbook, right? So just section 1.1, all the learning objectives within that section. And then I will see a video lesson assignment that teaches it to me as well. And then an assignment where I can practice it. What you'll notice is that if this assignment is past due, it will tell you when it was due. And right now it's showing as review, and here's where I can click to use a late pass if my instructor has allowed a certain number of late passes. If I just click on this assignment right now, it's in review mode, so nothing that I do, no scores will be saved. So if I wanted to complete this assignment for credit, I could do so if I click here to use this late pass. It says I have 2 late passes remaining, yes, redeem, or never mind. So that's section 1.1, and you can do that for every section. You may or may not have a review at the end of, let's say, a chapter or 2 chapters, and then you will probably have a test of some sort that is timed. And when you click on the test, it'll tell you what the time limit is if you didn't read it within the details that your instructor had provided, but it'll tell you right here. You can click OK to start or continue working on the assessment. So I think that covers our modules. So when I go back to my course, and you'll find all that within, let's say, module 1, and then you'll have module 2 and module 3. Some instructors have them all open on day 1. Others open them one at a time so you can see what you're working on. So if I go to Gradebook, I think this is really important that you know how to read your gradebook. So for example, course format video, I got 10 points. That was my grade out of 10 possible points. And I can read this. There's my percent, and there's when it was due. So if I scroll down, what I think is really helpful as well is this assignment 1.2. Right now, I cannot click on it from here, but I can click use a late pass from here. Yes, redeem a late pass. And now if I go to assignment 1.2, it says LP because I've used a late pass, and I can click on it right from my gradebook and work on it there. If I scroll down to see my grade, my past due grade is going to be the one that I probably want to pay the most attention to. Right now, my weighted total is 11%. That is of everything that has been due already. So this past due and attempted is just everything that was due and also things that I have worked on that have due dates of, for example, February 7th or later tonight. Today is 1:31, so tonight at 11:59. So an LP means that you have used a late pass on it, and you will see the new due date right here to the right. So for example, I used a late pass on this video assignment. I've since then gotten 100%, but it is due tonight. I can also use a late pass for things that are in the future. So even though this is due on February 2nd, I can say, you know what, I don't think that I'm going to be able to get this assignment done. I can plan ahead, use a late pass. And when I go back to my grade book, what I will notice is for that assignment, it is now due February 7th. So it has extended it by 5 days. So that could be really helpful, but please plan ahead because if you are given late passes, you're probably only given a few and they do go quickly if I've already used this many. The last thing that I want to show you about your grade book is the IP means in progress. So if I go to this assignment, which once something is due, it is a clickable hyperlink. But for right now, I'll just go back to this section 1.4. I can see in question 1 and 2 that I've already completed them one for one. So it puts me right at the next one that I have to do, which is question 3. So I can get help. There's a video here. I can click. I'm not even going to read the question. I can click the first one and submit. It tells me nope. So there's that redo. Okay, I need to redo this problem. So now I think it's the second one and I can submit again and I got it wrong. So what I'll notice is I need to say up here, try another similar question, right? Because I cannot click submit anymore. So let's try another similar question. Now I have a new question. Let's say I think it's the second one, submit. I'm just making this up. Oh, and it's right. So now I see I got 1 out of 1. I got full credit for that question. If you go and get a question wrong, I'm just going to put in f of 2. We're going to put in a 0. And it's wrong. It says that I can still redo it. If I've done it and I'm on a test and I've done it the maximum amount of times, I will physically see a red X there, meaning I cannot go back and attempt that. So if I go to my grade book, I will see a little better score for that assignment 1.4, and it's still in progress, not due until the 7th. You will also see if you are in, for example, an online class, you will probably have a proctored midterm and or final. There should be a block that will appear sometime before that midterm or final, probably a few weeks before, sharing some information about that. You can either come to the Math Center Q building to take that exam or arrange something different with your instructor. So those will be specific to the course you're taking, but please look for that information. But I hope you found this video helpful on how to use the MORE system.